in the book you write, in both these letters, which is the two letters with this Sri Sachidananda Bharati the third. And you write, in both these letters, he urges the Swamiji, whom he addresses as his Guru, Jagat Guru, to offer prayers to Lord Ishvara to ensure the defeat and flight of the enemies and to bring succor, happiness, prosperity to the people of Mysore. And this is between Tipu and Swamiji. Then he writes to the Swamiji that he had heard of the horrors of the Matha had faced when the Maratha horsemen, Kudreyavaru. Kudreyavaru. So those who are riding the horses had grievously attacked and harmed the Brahmins in Sringeri, pulled out and vandalized the idols of goddess Sharda. And looted the place of all its possessions and treasures.
He also quotes some Sanskrit verse. Something, there's a
Sanskrit. In that, Hasavidda Kriteya Karma Rudabhira Anubhuteya, which is the acts of foolishness committed in smiles but without any foresight. One often pays the price through tears and sufferings later. Anubhuteya. Okay. So this is what he says. And he calls it Guru Droha, which has happened. And the Swamiji then flees to Karkala along with 4 of his disciples, which, by the way, is my hometown.
Oh.
So, yeah. And it's also the Karma Bhumi. Anyway, okay, let's leave that part out. Anyway, so he flees out there. So there is this... this is what a lot of people say, that he supped with the devil. So no offense made to the Shankaracharya of that time, but he did try to save the Matha by making a peace deal with Hyder and with Tipu. With both of them.
And but the proof of the pudding is, one is, as I said, the Peshwa never had sent out letters that on the way go and break all the temples and so on. These people did that. There were so many apologetic letters that came from Pune. Later. And this one, of course, stole a march and, got it reconstructed as one medal in his name, to also assuage the Hindus to an extent. But 1 year after that, the Shankaracharya actually makes a trip to Pune. He's invited at the Darbar there. He is, richly honored and all of that. So if there were tension between the two, he would not have gone there.
But the Sringeri episode is...
held up as some secular credentials of Tipu Sultan.
Because this ring of Shankaracharya is also found, which you have rebutted out here. So explain to this ring of Shankaracharya to find it.
There's no evidence at all of that. They say he wore a ring with the name Ram on it, and that was given by the Shankaracharya. There's no evidence anywhere that this was actually there. It was found in Srirangapatna after his death, and it was taken off to London. It crossed several people's hands, and I think recently it was also sold in an auction somewhere. And there also the auction product description itself says it's very unlikely that he always wore it, because when his dead body was found also, every detail of what he wore was accounted by Alexander Allen, Beatson and all these officers who went on that search party to look for his body. They say he wore no ornament whatsoever.
No, there was that bejeweled
which they took away, the soldiers, to kill him. But there was no other ornament on him whatsoever. Why would they not write this, that he had this nice ring?
Maybe somebody stole it.
Or maybe, but there's no proof that he always wore it. So you're literally clutching at straws. I mean, he gave some grant here, he did this. Most of those grants also have busted here. They say so many temples. I think a lot of those grants started during Hyder's rule, including what they say in Nanjangud. There's that Hakim Nanjunda. There is a Spatikalinga which they attribute to Tipu, but it was actually Hyder who gave it. His favorite elephant had fallen ill, and someone said this is a very powerful temple. It can solve all maladies, and so the elephant was taken there, some incantations done, and it became fine. And so he said this is Hakim Nanjunda. He's the doctor. So that's how he donated it. But that also is actually attributed to him, even by the temple, actually, Tipu Sultan's donation. But actually the records show something else. It was Hyder. The Guruvayur temple also, on the one hand, he wanted to destroy it. So how did it not get destroyed? There was a guy called Hydros Kuti who was there, who was actually a Nair converted to Islam. He still there's some affinity to your old religion. So he somehow managed to protect and probably leak the information that he's going to come and attack. And it is at Hydros Kutti's intervention that the Guruvayur temple got saved. And many of those grants, there's some silver cups or something which is given to Ranganatha temple and various places. That also, if you see on the back, it is actually about 50 years before Tipu. It was actually given by someone else. There are double
but
entries.
That superstition
So he gives it to the temple, takes it back, and then gives it back in his name. Several.
But you write about this superstition that he was told that Ranganatha, the name Ranganatha, which Anand, please watch. This is about.
He's a terror even now for a lot of bigots.
That anything with the word Ranganatha would be.
Survival. Poor Hindus had to come up with all kinds of crazy tactics.
So they told him that anything with the word Ranganatha.
Ranganatha, I think he had some manic fear for that word. And so someone in Melkote, a very senior scholar, he told me this in an interview that these Brahmin priests, so this guy was so superstitious because his life was so uncertain. And particularly after the Third Anglo-Mysore War, when you don't know what's going to happen. Every day you're in tension. Someone could come and kill you. He was sleeping in a hammock which was suspended midair. He was always worried that someone will assassinate him. In that you fall to astrology, divination, omens, dreams, all these things. Do anything to survive. Doobte ko tinke ka sahara type of a thing. So in that these astrologers and Brahmins whom he said, they told him that 3 types of idols you should not molest.
Yedda Kallu.
Yedda Kallu. Which is
standing.
Standing idol.
I thought Yedda.
No, Yedda. Yedda Kallu. Bidda Kallu, which is a fallen stone. And Gunda Kallu, which is a round stone. So that almost covers all the type of Hindu deities, right? The standing idol was the Cheluvanarayan Swami in Melkote. The Bidda Kallu was the Ranganatha in Srirangapatna, lying on the Sheshnag. Gunda Kallu was the Nanjangud Shiva, so the round thing. So he gave many grants to these, and he was specifically told that if you molest these deities, then your rule will end. And Ranganatha you should not touch. Then your rule will end.
The Chamundeshwari temple.
Chamundeshwari also, this Haidar had tried to break. The priest put a fake idol in front, and he comes and that duplicate one with a nose cut or something is still there in the Chamundeshwari temple.
So why did he, if he was such a devout Muslim, why did he ask these Hindu priests to perform pujas?
That is the whole hypocrisy of it, which Wilkes also talks of. On the one hand, especially after the Third Anglo-Mysore War, when you had to cough up funds for paying out that indemnity, all the grants of the Hindu temples were taken back. At the same time, the same Brahmins are being asked to do all these japas and pujas and homas and all that for him, which even the Shankaracharya does a Shatachandi homa and a Sahasrachandi japa and all of these things. Maybe, again, survival and to get their dakshinas and so on. They did what they did. But that is a hypocrisy. On the one hand, you disenfranchise them, and on the other hand, take their help only. And he knew astrology quite well himself. He had learnt, he knew how to look at his own chart every day. He was almost like Humayun, so superstitious. Should I put my left leg front or right leg? And that's how he slipped off the library and fell.
But this guy burnt libraries.
Who?
Tipu Sultan.
No.
He burnt documents? No?
Some of the old Vadiyar documents. They were all ground and actually manuscripts given to.
See, I've read your book.
The horse tables, yes. Totally. It was such a small footnote.
Please notice I even read about how Haidar was getting his shaving done and plucking out the hair. Oh, disgusting stuff. And I was like, why does Vikram document such gory, minute details? But it makes you understand what these people were all about. And Tipu was very conscious about his bald head, I think, right? All the paintings and everything has him with the cap.
Correct, so that it covers the baldness.
But when he died, there was no topi.
Yeah, which is what they document and grandly show that he was hairless on the head.
Click here to watch the full episode.